Hello friends, Marcy here, and I'm back to finally share my new pens that I ordered in December, and they finally all come in. Let me open this to see which one we're talking about that actually came in first and which one came in second. Okay, this one is, I ordered on the 29th and it came in on the 1st, and this one I ordered earlier on the 28th and it just came in today. So I was waiting on both of them to arrive before I actually shared about them. So I've ordered them because I've seen other people use and love them on their YouTube videos. And so this one is called the Pilot Prera. It is a medium nib, and let's see, I was thinking it was Calligraphy Medium, but maybe not. It's a medium nib, and its color on the body is ivory. So it's a very lightweight resin, and it's Pilot Japan. The Prera is a Pilot model. So let me take this off, and inside the box, it didn't come with anything fancy. It came with a cartridge, and I'm gonna talk about probably not using this cartridge here in a minute. So we'll put this aside and put this aside for a moment. I probably need to go get my TWSBI Mini and my Kaweco just to do a pocket pen size comparison. I should have thought of that. So the one that just arrived, this one's packaged better. It's all snug inside its little elastic band, but it has the same contents, the use and care guide. It does have a black cartridge, and this one being the clear pen. Okay, this one's CM. This was the Calligraphy Medium. This being a clear Demonstrator, it has the converter inside. I'm trying to see if that's the same one that I have already, because I did not want to use a cartridge in this pen. I'm hoping the converters that I already have will fit. So let me take this out and see. Yes, okay, that looks like a converter that I already have, which is the Con 40. I know on the description when I ordered it, it said it would come with the Pilot Con 50, which they no longer sell. They do have the Con 70. So I already have a couple of the Con 40s in stock, so we're good to go there. And I have additional cartridges. I'm not liking that cartridge, and I'll show you why in a bit. I'm going to pop this back in here. And this is proprietary cartridge for Pilot pens. I need to take this off. Oops. Okay, yes. All right, so something that I noticed is it kind of looks like it has the shape of the Sailor Pro Gear, or Slim, which I no longer have my Sailor. I had one that was similar to this color, but I really wasn't a fan of it or its nib, and so I no longer have that one. But if you want to see it, it's in a previous video. I am anxious to share these, ink them up, and then do some comparisons to my other Pilot pens. And something that's funny about my pen purchases, as I started out on a high end, I purchased the Pilot Decimo Champagne, and this is the gold nib. And then the next was the capless. So those are my first two Pilot purchases, and then I purchased the Pilot Elites or E95S, first the burgundy and then the black. And then finally, my Pilot purchase was the custom 823. And then also noticing that so many people were enjoying the Pilot Kakuno I finally went down and bought a $9 pen, which is an amazing price, the Pilot Kakuno, because I forget if they're twist or snap cap. It came with the converter, and if you buy the converter alone, it's $7 or $8 just by itself. So this $9 pen was an amazing value. I love the nib on here too with its little happy face. But it is extra fine. Anyway, and I was really surprised to get a cheap pen that wrote very well with the extra fine and the Hobonichis. It's amazing. I really love it. I actually put it in my Galen leather sketch kit, the little kit that I was setting up for sketching and watercolor. I put it in there because it has the platinum carbon ink in there. Anyway, let's go back to these pens. I'd like to ink them up, but I do not want to use this cartridge, and I'm spinning around here. Let me show you why I do not want to use this cartridge. I have the cartridge inside my Pilot Elite. It's the cartridge it came with, and it's almost empty. You can see it's almost empty. I've used it up, but I've not enjoyed using it. I love the medium point on this pen. I love the style of this pen, but this one is the extra fine and this one is the medium. But let me show you a little bit about this ink's performance. I've tested it. It just takes forever to dry on the Hobonichi paper. So I just wouldn't use it in there, but let me show you a little bit about the ink on. It's almost empty too, of a fuzz. It's almost empty. I've almost written it out, and I'm so glad because I wanted to refill the cartridge, but I think I'll wait and just use the converter. So this is the Pilot Elite Medium. Okay, and let me just try a little bit about, that's going to dry quickly. Let me try. Yeah, this is just 32-pound printer copier paper. So let me show you. Oh, it's getting dry. Pilot, I mean, it's almost empty. It's skipping because it's not the nib. It's skipping because it's empty. So you can see how in the glare of the light, you can see how wet this is. And let me show you. Wow. And this is the Rhodia dot paper. Anything that has a coating, this ink will not dry on. So as you can see, the Hobonichi paper, the Rhodia paper, but it writes fine on just copy paper. So I will empty this ink cartridge on just copy paper and it will dry quickly. No problems. So you can see I do not want to pop this cartridge into my new pen. This one I did put the converter in. I've never used a cartridge. So it had the writer's blood in it, but I've written it out. It's clean and it's flushed. So ready for new ink. Okay, so let's go back to the Pilot Preras. And I'm not going to use the cartridge as I've demonstrated why. I am going to put let's talk about this cap. Okay, so it's not a twist. Okay, this is the first time I've owned a Prera, so I'm getting these little surprises. It's not a twist cap. It pulls, but it's like a friction. I like that. The Elites have this friction cap, but it's a silent closure. This one has a friction cap, but it's more tight to pull and release, and it has a click when it connects. Okay, yeah. This one is more tight than this one, and I'm wondering, as you can see on the clear demonstrator, you can see that seal cover. I'm wondering if the other one has a seal cover. Can't see in there. Let's look inside. I'm not seeing, yes, I can feel it. Okay. It has a seal cover, but it's just not as tight. All right, these are the same pen, different nib size, different color. This one is the clear demonstrator, and it said black on the order, but black is just referring to this little smoky color up in the cap and on the bottom. It's not really solid. It is translucent, but other colors available are blue and green and I think orange and red. But it would be clear and just a little color at the top. All right, I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry. There's a lot that's going through my mind with these pens, what I want to do with them. And let's get started doing that. Okay, I'm just going to flush a little water through the nib feed here. Just get a full bulb. All right, just to rinse that new nib feed of any residue. Let that dry out a bit. No, you can't really see what I'm doing. Sorry. Here. And maybe that's a good thing because you can't see if I'm making a huge mess, right? All right, so let those drip a little bit, dry a little bit while we get the cartridge ready to assemble. And so the first one, I think I'll do the clear. I have a sample here of Diamine Shimmering Seas that I'm actually going to use a needle syringe to fill, and this one is blue and it does have a little shimmer. So I want to try that out because it's the Calligraphy Medium nib. And then, let's see. I'm going to give that one more shake because it does have a shimmer. So here we go. All right. Diamine Shimmering Seas. I do not need a lot. But so we're actually going to fill from the syringe. Put my extra ink back in there. Assemble my pen, and I do, let's see, I have a drip of ink inside here somehow. There we go. I do want to get my bottle capped because I've had oopsies before. Got a little bit on the rim. I was wondering where the ink come from. All right, put this pen back together and get it ready to write, but I do need to allow my ink to flow down to the nib and nib feed. With the converter, I could actually force by pushing some ink down into the nib feed, and I'll do that, but I'm gonna just let it sit in a jar upside down for a minute while we fill the other pen and get them ready for writing. That is a very snug, I like that. I'm finding more and more pens have that seal mechanism, like my Platinum and the newest one, my little Estabrook Esty that I most recently shared. All right, so I'm going to put my twist converter, you can see the little bead agitators in there, all the way down, and get my ink bottle ready. This is the Diatramentis, oh sorry, it's Alexander Hamilton, but its color name is Aubergine. So I think that would be pretty. I was debating on that and the Ancient Copper, but I do already have the Ancient Copper inked in another pen, so this is where we're at today. I think the Ancient Copper would look gorgeous in this pen as well. But the great thing about using a converter is you are able to clean, flush, and change your inks. You're not committed. You don't have to have that same ink in there. All right, now this nib is already wet because I did fill from the nib unit down immersed into the bottle. So I can get that one ready to write. I just want to get some things put away here and get some writing paper out. We'll just go for the Rhodia dot grid again. And I hope that it doesn't blur when we write because I'm using a different setup today. All right, so this is a Pilot Prera. This one is a medium nib. And it's actually, being a Pilot, I'm surprised that it's not as much feedback because they tend to be very fine. The Japanese nibs tend to be very fine. And there is some line variation here for the horizontal and vertical. And of course, this Alexander Hamilton ink is just gorgeous. Not too wet. Let's see if our other nib is ready to go. The Pilot Prera, this is the calligraphy nib. Oh, I need to write my ink there. I forgot. Almost. Okay, this one does have some scratchy feedback because it's a calligraphy nib and it's flat. It's ground flat to give this line variation. So I can hear that. This is the Calligraphy Medium, and I did not get all my pilots out because the Calligraphy Medium makes me think this is not the first one I've had. Nice. The first Calligraphy Medium I got was when I ordered my Pilot Metropolitan. That's another one that I need to squeeze in here. All right, so this ink is the Diamine. I just love the calligraphy nibs. So much fun. Shimmering Seas. Lovely. And I need to go back and write. The Diatramentis. This is surprisingly smooth. Alexander Hamilton. And it's aubergine. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. I like it. So we're gonna look at some other pocket pens for comparison. Do a little bit of weights, but let me grab my Pilot Metropolitan real quick. When I received this, I was quite surprised it was a calligraphy nib, calligraphy medium, because when I ordered it, I thought I just got medium. But I ordered it when I was on the kick to order purple pens for work. It has the same nib feed on the back. And, well, I haven't used it in a few weeks. There we go. This is the Pilot Metropolitan. And I do not remember which ink is in here. I'll have to look it up. It's a cartridge that I was trying to empty and refill. It's also the Calligraphy Medium nib. And it's a cartridge. Actually, I think it is. It's the Pilot Namiki cartridge. I bought a box of them. So this is the Pilot Namiki cartridge. I just do not remember the name of the ink that's inside. It's something like Royal Purple, Imperial Purple, or something like that. But ready for a new cartridge to go in there. And this one doesn't have that drying time issue that the Namiki cartridge on the black ink has with, let's do a little test. Yeah. Anyway, so enjoying these Pilot pens. Let's do a comparison for some pocket pens. These are both the same, so I'm going to move that out of the way. We have the Prera, the Elite. This is a TWSBI Diamond Mini rain frame. And of course, we have Kaweco. Plenty of Kawecos. Just to compare, on the ruler in inches, our Kaweco is just over about 4 1/4. The TWSBI just over 4 1/2. The Prera 4 3/4 and 4 3/4 on the Pilot Elite. All right, let's cap them. I love this glide that the Pilot Elite has on the cap, and so impressed that my new Prera has that same glide. So let's look at TWSBI. A nice thing about the TWSBI Mini, it is postable. It actually, when it posts, it has a screw-on part to post, where the 580s and the Echoes do not. And this is the AL Sport. It's the aluminum Kaweco. So here we go. Now we got posted. If we line them up in graduated order, the Prera is shorter than the TWSBI Mini, just barely. Okay, I'm gonna put the caps back on and we'll do some weight measurements to show you a weight comparison for the pockets. Oh, I love that glide, the way that cap works. All right, let's begin. Let's go ahead and try these both out and see. In grams, the Demonstrator Prera is almost 16 grams. Just over 16 grams, and they're both inked with the converter. The TWSBI Mini, about 20.5 grams, and the metal AL Sport, just over 23.5 grams. And let me grab, that is just a resin body, 14. So there's some weight comparisons on other pocket pens that you may have in your collection. And I think that does it. We have compared length, weight, nibs, sizes, and price. I would say these pens run about 30, just under 30 or just over 30, depending on the color choice or nib choice that you get. These pens, depending on where you purchase them from, what country you're in, could be $100 to $200. Price comparison, I'm really surprised at the quality of these Pilots. I'm anxious to learn more about this seal cap and see how that performs. And we did not compare the weight of the kakuno. Let's just do that real quick. Sorry, back up. Because it is a very lightweight pen. Is 12.5 grams, very lightweight pen. All right, thank you for spending some of your precious moments with me. If you had other curiosities or questions that I failed to answer in the little Pilot comparison demonstrations, please leave questions in the comments below, and I'll try to get back and answer it. So thank you for spending your precious moments with me. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.